We already have a decision made in our mind. Here's what I want to do. Here's what I'm going to do. And you try to get God to co-sign on it.
This is a very close thing, and you just go silent on me?
And it leaves them stuck, hurt. And I hate that.
What did I do wrong? What's wrong with me? I jump immediately to, hey, it's on them. I'm glad they left. Toxic or just tense? And how do you know the difference? That's what we're going to talk about today on Marriage with Jim and Teresa. I'm your host, Jim. Joining me in studio is my co-host and my wife of the last 40 years, the mother of our 4 children, Teresa, the therapist. What's up, Teresa?
Hi, Jim.
Also joining us in studio.
My name is Ellie. I'm the youngest daughter.
Wow.
Somebody invaded our space, Jim.
Exactly.
I don't think that's how I would position it. I am gracing the place. No, I'm just...
So Elizabeth's been instrumental in getting this whole show kicked off. She's been behind the camera for most of the time, and she brings up an interesting perspective with her demographic, her age group. So we thought we'd bring her out here in front and see, and you guys will ultimately tell us, is this helping or hurting? Hey,
do you want me to stay or not?
She's on a temporary work contract here, so nothing.
I won't be offended.
Yeah, exactly.
We have hard conversations in this family.
Exactly. So, toxic or tense, or Teresa, you mentioned earlier in kind of some of the prep work is that you want to substitute the word difficult for tense.
Yes, toxic or difficult.
Why do you want to do that? What's the difference between something being, well, what you said, Dad, earlier?
Yeah. So the whole idea, tense, I don't like that idea of tense. I wouldn't want to be in a relationship that's tense. I mean, I don't want to come home with a lot of tension,
right?
All the time. Now, difficult, hey, news alert, being married is difficult. Doesn't make it bad. Doesn't make it bad. It's just difficult. You've put 2 sinful people together in close proximity. Selfish people, I might add. Hey, Jim, not me. I'm selfless. Yeah,
Everybody's
sure you are.
selfish.
Exactly.
Everybody.
So toxic or difficult. So here's the difference. There's nothing wrong with your relationship being difficult from time to time. It shouldn't be difficult all the time. Yeah. But now toxic, where there's physical, emotional, verbal abuse, that's a whole different animal.
Yeah. I also think that like toxic and tense both denote like a long-term state, like something that is ongoing.
Or a repeated pattern.
Whereas difficult is just like something that's happening right now. It's temporary.
Now,
okay, so
Ellie,
go ahead.
You've mentioned things like today, and I don't know if we want to separate it into age groups or not, but you've mentioned that some people think the relationship should be perfect, and so when things aren't perfect, they start panicking.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side of that, some people think, oh, I know this is going to be hard, because, hey, I've heard people say that, but then they don't distinguish the difference between it being hard, like it is from time to time, and it being
toxic.
Yeah.
I think some people think that the phrase goes, if they're not cheating or beating, then the relationship is fine.
I've actually never heard.
I've heard that very recently.
Never heard that phrase in my life.
Okay. Well, we're in a different.
Because you heard the phrase one time doesn't make it a phrase.
I mean, it's pretty catchy.
Is it?
It's pretty catchy. I think that's probably that sounds like something like a grandmother or a great grandmother would have told a daughter or great granddaughter.
Yeah, you know what that is?
It's a saying. It sounds like a Southern saying.
It sounds like a stupid saying.
If he's not cheating or beating, or so I won't say he, because hey, this can be men or women. But if they're not cheating or beating, then it's not toxic. That's like that's what I think sometimes. At least back in the day, my understanding is that was kind of the mentality where, oh, he's a good man or she's a good woman because they're not doing X, Y, and Z.
Right. Yeah,
whereas
but
today,
I agree.
You agree that you've heard that?
I agree.
She agrees with the sentiment.
Right. The sentiment is that you stay there, you endure whatever, if they're not meeting you or whatever. You endure because there's going to be difficulty. And years ago, women couldn't leave because men probably had, were able to take care of them financially better. So they didn't leave. However, a lot of those relationships were toxic.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
And I also think today, to go on the other side of that, it's like if someone has what is it? It's kind of this idea that, because I've been seeing this a lot on social media lately, how people feel like you're dumping if you're sharing something difficult that you're going through or you're experiencing a difficult time in your life and you want to share that with your friends, they feel like you're almost